So I wanted to share the tax saving and incentive assessment we put together. So many people are skeptical about working with a new CPA. So we wanted to make it easy for you so that you can see whether you can qualify for credits and find out how we can work together. Once you fill out the questionnaire, we can discuss whether you can qualify for any tax credit opportunities while you focus on your business. Next slide, please. So to begin with, we typically do a free analysis upfront, and we have questionnaire, and I will walk you through the example of questionnaire. Next. So this is the ERC questionnaire we put together. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. First, it will ask you about your basic information so that we can contact you. And then second, it will ask if you had a decline in gross receipt comparing to pre-COVID, which is 2019. The last question will be to ask if your company was affected by COVID orders. Once you fill out, it will tell you whether you potentially qualify. And you can like stop here, and Jennifer or I will like reach out to you to schedule a call. Or if you like to fill out further information to get estimate credit, you can do so as well. So for us to estimate tax credit, we need to know gross receipt from 2019 first quarter to 2021 third quarter, as well as estimated number of employee along with total payroll. And once in addition to that, we need a PPP information so that we can give you accurate estimate. Once you fill out the questionnaire, we will schedule a call with you, and then we can give you what type of tax credits you are looking at. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope this was informative. And if you have any question, Jennifer and I will take those questions right now.
Is there a minimum number of employees that you think this is ideal for, or is there like a floor for number of employees?
So if we are talking about employee retention tax credit, any companies who have employee other than the owner of the company, they should qualify. But if you receive the PPP, you need to take consideration. So it'll be case by case, but we can take a look at that.
Thank you.
I have a question from someone that says, my CPA said I might not qualify. What is the best way to move forward? And how then do you work with our CPA?
Sure. So typically, Jennifer and I can, if you can give us information, we can do high level analysis. And once we have that information, Jennifer and I can, my team can, put together, okay, do you qualify, number one? Number two is what's the low, medium, high estimate of ERC? Once you have that, you can you can decide you want to move forward with us. And once you get engaged with us, we will loop your CPA in, but we can prepare all the study as well as amended tax returns. So we can work with you and your CPA, and if your CPA has any question, we are more than happy to get on the phone and talk through that their questions.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off that, it's really a team approach with your CPA. If we need to loop them in or work with them, happy to do so. There's another question from Anna. It says, how do I know if I qualify for other tax incentives such as state credits?
So for the state credit, like there's a couple different ones. Like if you're growing, typically there are, maybe I should ask this question, like what industry are you in?
They didn't say. I think it's SaaS.
Okay. SaaS company, like R&D tax credits are like always like available for like, companies who are developing or improving process and product. And like state tax credits are more like, case by cases. So if you're interested, like we can get on a call and understand like what your growth plan is, what your business is. And like, again, like, we can answer that questions.
Okay. This is another question. What sort of changes or it looks like ERC has ended due to the infrastructure bill. So how long do businesses have to file ERC?
So for federal, statute of limitation is 3 years from the original filed tax return. So second quarter 2020 payroll tax return was filed probably July 30th, 2020. So you have 3 years to amend those tax returns. So you still have until like close to July 2023.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a recommendation though on that? Just file as soon as possible, or?
Yeah, but I said like, file the amended return as soon as possible. Even now, like Jennifer, like you can talk about this too, but we are seeing about a year delay since you filed the amended return for IRS to refund that what you're entitled to.
Yeah, I think they're processing them as fast as possible, but the sooner the better, right?
Yeah.
Another question here. I've been working with another ERC company. How are you different?
So ERC is part of like our service model, but what we try to do is we want to have like holistic approach, and we want to be a partner to your company. So not just the ERC, we proactively look at like, based on your growth or your businesses, what else like, can we do to like save your taxes?
So I always look at it too as, those are the larger federal incentives. So ERC, R&D, and then we start there, and then we look at, your business, your locations, and then we go down the funnel in terms of stateside credits, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Bryant. Is your team familiar with working with PEOs?
As far as like ERC, R&D goes, yes, we work with like, clients who use PEO company.
Did you have a specific question around that, Brian? Just curious if we work with PEO companies.
No, not a specific question. Yuko and I have been interacting in the background prior to this event.
Okay.
So she and I have initiated some discussion. That's one question that I had not asked. So,
Okay.
But other than that, just thank you so much for this. It is incredibly valuable to anyone who's listening in, and incredibly valuable to any small business out there. And we just need to tell as many people as we can. Because to get money from the government is an absolute blessing. and
Every bit helps, right? Every bit.
There's a tremendous amount of people who just don't realize and understand their potential eligibility, and or yes, they fit completely in the proper areas, and it's just incredibly valuable. And I don't think enough people know about it yet, to be very honest with you. So thank you so much for doing this.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for joining us.
Yeah. Okay, one other question. I'm a small business. How can you help me gather the information I need in order to move forward?
Yeah, so we work in Jennifer has on like information request and information gathering, but like, we can talk a little bit more. So we do like 2 different ways. So first, like, if you don't have if you cannot give us, if you're not comfortable, or like if you cannot give us like access to your accounting or payroll record, we simply send you the information document request, and then you can supply to us. But other thing, like, we do with small to mid-sized businesses, oftentimes like they can like give us like access to your accounting and payroll system. So in the background, like my team will like, log into your system and pull the record. And so that will eliminate a lot of like, back and forth time.
And one thing that we do as well is we do a kickoff call and go over all of the information based on the high level analysis. We take it a step further. What information do we need? And then give you an overview of how that's going to work and the time frame. And then, of course, we are always here to assist if you want us to pull your payroll, things that take time away from your day-to-day business, understanding that, as a small business, you are involved in the weeds and the day-to-day aspect of all of it. So we're here to assist in that as well. I think that's all the questions that I have from folks.
I'm sorry, two fast questions to piggyback on actually the question that Brian asked. I'm not a SaaS company, but I have a course, an online course. Would that fall under that SaaS kind of thing that I might, with one employee, one full-time and a bunch of part-time? Would that fall under that? Would that be eligible potentially?
Potentially,
Okay.
but we need to look at like, what type of like, technology or like what are you actually developing?
Okay.
Like, if you're using like outside like online platform to create like online courses and your development is only around like educational material, probably not.
Okay.
But if you are creating technology, backend technology alongside of it, that should qualify.
Okay. Got it. And then is there a cost for the assessment?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's zero cost, and it's we really only ask for 3 to 4 key pieces of information. We try to make it very simple, and then provide you an overview of what that looks like, kind of a low, medium, high range, and that gives you an idea of next steps and if you want to choose to move forward. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for everybody's participation today.